Hello and welcome to the Arise and Build podcast. My name is Michael Dulali and I'm sitting in today for Yakinea Marie. Malcolm X famously said, "A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything." So what do you stand for? Several years ago, I watched a leader fall. This was someone who had everything. In a short period of time, he lost everything. Not because he lacked talent, not because he lacked opportunity, but because he lacked principles. When pressure hit, his character bent. When success came, his humility disappeared. When adversity showed up, excuses followed. That moment in life taught me something. And what it taught me is that we do not rise to our goals. Instead, we fall to our standards. And if we don't define our principles, our values intentionally ahead of time, then pressure will define them for us. On today's show, I'm going to share with you the 12 principles that form the the Dulali's family principles. These are principles that we live by, not occasionally, not emotionally, but consistently. Just as important, if you stay to the end, that I will show you how to develop your own principles before pressure arises again. Now, our 12 principles are based upon the acronym of From Our Heart. And as you can see, this is an infographic of what they look like. So let's get started. As I mentioned, the 12 principles are based around the acronym of From Our Heart. And F stands for faith-driven vision. There's a difference between a goal and a calling. A goal says, I will pursue this if conditions cooperate. A calling says, I'll pursue this because conviction demands it. Think about the last time you had a major change in your life. Did your vision change? Vision anchored in faith survives uncertainty. It doesn't panic whenever pressure arises. The next principle is based around R, which stands for responsibility without excuses. Do you know someone who has an answer for everything in life that goes wrong for them? They seem to make excuses for everything. The moment you explain instead of owning, you certainly surrender your power. In the Dulali family, we accept responsibility for all of our actions, and most importantly, without making excuses. The next principle is O, which stands for ownership of growth. Early in my career, I waited for someone to develop me. A mentor came to me and told me that no one was coming to rescue my potential. And that hit me and it changed my life. Because I realized that growth is something that is self-driven. Coaches guide, but they do not carry. If you're seeking to get to the next level, you must build it. The next principle starts with M, which is mastery through discipline. We celebrate talent publicly. However, we forge discipline privately. Every profession that you admire, practice when no one's watching. Discipline is boring. Repetition is invisible. But excellence is something that compounds quietly. Do you know the difference between average and elite? If you don't, that is simply standards. The next principle is O, which stands for others before self. The quickest way to get rid of people in your life is simply to make everything about you. Have you ever been around somebody who was just very, very selfish? What I do know is that service builds influence, yet ego isolates it. When people feel valued, they not only give more effort, they also give loyalty. In the Doolally family, we believe that it is our responsibility to serve others because service matters. The next principle is U, which stands for unwavering integrity. Integrity has been defined as what you do when no one else is watching. We understand that pressure reveals cracks. Whenever there's cracks, there always will be shortcuts, a small compromise, a quiet justification, and it will feel harmless at first until it isn't. Integrity is expensive, but compromise is something that's catastrophic. Character must remain in place, particularly when pressure is at its highest point. The next principle is R, which stands for resilience through adversity. We all know that we will face adversity in our lives. The question is whether or not you will stay until the stated course until you overcome. I once faced a setback that seemed like it was final. What I didn't realize was that it was forming the capacity for me to move on to the next level, to become greater. Setbacks are refinement tools, not stop signs. The next principle is H, which stands for humility in success. Failure humbles us naturally. Success tests us intentionally. The higher you rise, the quieter correction becomes. Humility keeps you teachable, and teachability protects your future. The moment you believe you arrive, growth stops. Never, never stop being humble. Next principle is E, which stands for execution over intention. We live in a world full of ideas. How many times have you come across somebody and they always got ideas, but yet they lack execution? How often do you run across somebody who says, I'm going to, we should, one day? One thing I know that leader close loops. Action validates belief. Execution separates dreamers from builders. But most importantly, results reward action, not intention. The next principle is A, which stands for abundance mentality. Scarcity says there isn't enough. Abundance says let's create more. Scarcity competes. Abundance multiplies. When you operate from possibility, collaboration increases. Opportunities expand. Innovation accelerates. Growth expands for those who value and multiply. There's never a shortage, only a lack of abundance, only a lack of awareness that abundance, in fact, does exist. Next principle is R, which stands for relentless improvement. Complacency has been described as a silent destroyer. The best leaders I know, they constantly audit themselves. They audit things such as what worked, what did not work, what failed, what must I improve. Progress requires evaluation and adjustment. Growth and success is not accidental. It is intentional. Next is T, which stands for trust over time. Trust is the currency of life. It is earned slowly, lost quickly, but rebuilt painfully. Consistency compounds credibility. When trust is present, influence expands. Here in the Abdullah Ali family, we believe that trust is everything. And what I like to do now is I'm going to give you 5 questions that will help you to answer and discover your core principles for life. So if you will grab something to write with, I'm going to give you these 5 foundational questions. Question number 1 is, what do I believe strongly enough to defend, even if it costs me something? Once again, that question is, what do I believe strongly enough to defend, even if it costs me something? Question number 2, who do I become under pressure? And that is a great one, because we understand that who you really are will reveal itself once pressure is applied. So who do you become under pressure? Question number 3, where do I most often make excuses instead of taking ownership? Where do I most often make excuses instead of taking ownership? Question number 4, what behavior do I consistently admire and respect in others? What behavior do I consistently admire and respect in others? Question number 5, at the end of my career, what do I want to be known for? Now, I would like for you to take some time, get by yourself, go through and answer those 5 questions. It will help you to be able to develop your core foundational principles. In closing, let me leave you with this. Principles are not powerful because they are printed. They're powerful because they are practiced. When pressure hits, we lead from faith. When mistakes happen, we take responsibility. When growth is required, we own it. When success comes, we stay humble. When adversity rises, we endure. When opportunity appears, we multiply. And over time, we build trust. This is not motivational. This is not structural. This is how we, the Abdullah Ali family, lives. And also, as a special bonus to you, I have taken and made a workbook called the Principal Discovery Assessment Workbook. And what I'm going to do, and this here is approximately 6 pages, that is an assessment tool to help you to be able to flush out fully your foundational principles. And in order to get this, all you have to do is go down to the description below, and you see how to get this beautiful tool that we have created for you guys. We created this because we love you, and we do not want you to go through life without you having your foundation principles in place. And now, if today's show was a blessing to you, please hit the like button and subscribe so that You'll be notified the next time we come out with some great information like this. You will not be left out. Also, be sure to share this show with someone you care about that you know that need to discover their principles before pressure hits them again. Once again, I am Michael Abdul-Ali. I'll see you at the top. And if you choose not to join us at the top, then we'll see you from the top. Salute.